What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Gloss Garage, where we make detailing simple. My name is Doc, and today I have something special for you all. So here, you want to transform your vehicle, especially the interior. Probably it's an older vehicle. You want to make it look as brand new as possible, deep clean, or even if it's just a brand new vehicle and say some disaster happened and you want to deep clean it, follow these steps so you can know how to get the best results possible. And here is what I have is a 2010 BMW 3 Series. Now this is a older vehicle. We're talking about a 16-year-old vehicle, but our job here is to transform, de-clean, sanitize, make sure everything, we make it as brand new as possible based on the condition it's in. As you can see here, there are some staining here on the plastic, on the door panels, a couple permanent damage because it is a 16-year-old vehicle, and you will see on the overhead, on the walk around as well, on how the vehicle looks. And on top of that, just to let you know what we did outside, we used the air compressor. I had the Fortress with the Flexzilla hose, and game changer for me having a way bigger air compressor. I used to have the little pancake rigid one, and I most of the time just stopped using it because it just took forever to pump up and hold its pressure because it was like a 6-gallon pancake one. So we did that off screen, blew everything pretty much out, and have things in the corner. Now we're just ready to vacuum, which you will see on video. Now, quick disclaimer, all the products used on this video, or not all, but most of the products you can purchase at the House of Rags. Just use code DMS at checkout for 10% off. You guys save 10%. I get a little something to help out the channel. And then on top of that, it is pretty much a paid promotion because I do host a podcast for Thor and I get paid for it. And I will say this in every video until the day I decide to not work for Thor, or the case may be, but it is pretty much a paid promotion because some of the products you can get at the House of Rags, but they do not influence me in any way, shape, or form to make a positive review at all. They never have, they never will. They don't send a text message. You will always get my honest review and feedback. And yeah, let's get started and then we'll tackle the interior step by step. So see you in a bit. Alrighty, so here is the air compressor, and that's one of the mats. It was filled with like sand and dust and stuff, so I blew that out with the air compressor. I have the Vortex here, air tool, and I've had that for a while already. And this is how the door panel looks. So as you can see, it is some staining on the plastic trim, and I will show you on how to clean this door panel. I said plastic trim, but on this door panel. And I will show you my method on a little hack on how to use this to really deep clean and try to remove as much as this dirt as possible. I will put a 50-50 line. And again, there's only so much we can do, especially for a lighter interior and a much older vehicle, because sometimes it's just embedded in there pretty deep, but you will still see a drastic transformation. Now, in terms of the carpets, we blew everything up just to make sure we loosen everything from the fibers in itself. And I blew underneath the seats as well. And this is all the junk that's in there. So we are deep cleaning, as I said, everything. I've even blew out pretty much everything in here just to make the process easier. Now, my favorite vacuum at the moment is the DeWalt. I should have gotten the 9-gallon one. Or I think, I'm sorry, the 12-gallon one, because that has 5.5 horsepower. But this works just well. It's just a super quiet vacuum. And time to put you all down on the tripod so you can see me, I guess, vacuum. I'm gonna put this down right here. Now I'll get started. All right, so here on the door panel, I'll put a 50-50 tape line, and I will show you my process on how I pretty much scrub and really deep clean this. And for this type of stuff, with this type of age, I will use a melanin sponge or a dry eraser. Again, no pressure. I've done this many times for over, what, 6-7 years. It's going to deep clean. It's not going to destroy the leather, plastic, or vinyl. Just don't put any pressure and force and try to do it. It's the same thing with anything else. Now, I will be using Jimbos Complete Cabin Cleaner. I've heard some good things about this, especially from a couple of subscribers as well, including Stephen V. And yeah, so with this reading, it's pretty much it says the fastest and most effective solution for cleaning, disinfecting, and deodorizing your car's cabin. Did you know there can be up to 700 types of bacteria per square inch on your steering wheel? Jimbos Complete Cabin Cleaner addresses this issue with ease. This all-in-one cleaner handles deodorizing, deep stain removal for carpets, and cleaning up cup holders, dashboards, door panels, and sensitive touch screens, including your steering wheel, and it leaves no residue to provide a factory matte finish. So it pretty much says it's safe on all surfaces. This is my first time using it. I like to give things a fair shot as always. And with the age of this vehicle, no matter what type of cleaner you're using, you're going to need to do this method regardless of the fact, just because of the age and how long it's been sitting there. I'm not going to spray this on, wipe it down, and just say, hey, it didn't work. That's not a fair take, especially with the condition it's in. I just want to see how well it just breaks down the dirt and if it's able to lift up some of it to give you the results that you're looking for. So I'm going to saturate this. First impression, smells really good actually. And it does foam on, and this thing smells really, really nice. And you're going to wet your dry eraser as well, and you're just going to gently back and forth, probably like 5 or 6 times. And you're going to just clean the surface. You're not trying to scrub and destroy anything. You're just here to wipe down and clean. And as you can see here, we've already left a drastic result right there. And if you need more cleaner, trust me, just use more. That is something that I can't stress enough of is if your vehicle is in this type of condition, you are going to need more product. That is the nature of the beast. And again, I am doing 0 pressure. I'm just, look, holding it with 2 fingers, going back and forth. And this one is done as well. And hopefully on camera, you can actually see a distinct difference. And I will put that up as well. So far, this is doing an extremely good job. And it smells very nice as well. Now, in terms for stain removal for this vehicle, I'm not going to use the cabin cleaner. I'm going to use my Bio Break for the carpets. That is what I'm going to use that for. I am not going to use this Jimbos cabin cleaner. And time to wipe this down. So for the towel part, that's when you want to scrub. Make sure you really get in there and remove anything else that is left. Now I'm going to remove the tape line so you all can see the huge 50-50. And without a doubt, as you can see, there is a significant difference right there. Night and day. We didn't damage it. We didn't do anything to this whatsoever. And it is a nice, completely as clean as possible as it'll ever get. It pretty much looks like factory. Look at that. So this is a great combo. There's nothing bad to say. So Jimbos Pure Magic Cleaner did an amazing job. And we're gonna try this out on the leather seats as well. So let me finish up this door panel, do section by section, and that way we're able to move on to the next step. All right, so here is what we're gonna use it on as well on the leather seats and show you a drastic 50-50 with this. You will need multiple say of these melanin or dry erasers. So I have one big one, and this is courtesy of Tim. So he just donated these to me because he says he doesn't really do interiors. So this is what I have, and I just cut it up into little pieces. And pretty much after I'm done with that door panel and this entire seat, I will discard this one and use a different dry eraser. So here is what the drastic difference you're going to get on the leather seats, and it is the same thing. Zero pressure. You are just going to act as if you're just spreading product onto the surface and letting the dry eraser do the work and help do all that heavy lifting of that dirt and grime. And of course, the Jimbos Pure Magic Cleaner as well is doing great at breaking down that grease and grime. Now for the cracks and crevices, don't worry so much about those stuff, just because it will be steam cleaned as well. And here are just, again, it's just wear and tear on the seats in general. So as you can see on this spot right here, it is already damaged in general. But that is just normal wear and tear. We're talking about leather seats that are 16 years old. And here it is, moment of truth again. Release this up, and as you can see, a night and day difference. So this is what we're going for. This is now completely clean, deep cleaned, factory finish, as factory as we can get it. And yeah, I don't think words can describe on the drastic change. All right, everyone, so we finished cleaning the seats. As you can see, they are nice and as clean as they could be with the method that I showed. And let me just lift the seat up as well, just so you all can see the progress. Just a complete night and day difference on the seats. Obviously, some of the things will remain, some of the stains, because you know, father time catches up, and sometimes they're just permanent, like that one right there. I don't know what was spilled on here or anything, but I just am not able to get that out. Now, some of the other stuff, I'll see if I'll be able to take that out with the steamer, because that is the last step process. But in this case, we are moving on to the carpets, and this is the most dirty carpet out of the bunch, the dirtiest. And I forgot to pump this sprayer. So what I have in here is BioBreak. In here I put 1 full scoop because I want the strongest dilution possible. And I stirred it up. Make sure you stir it up, because sometimes if you just put the water in here and fill and put your scoop of BioBreak, what's gonna happen is that BioBreak is gonna sit down on the bottom. It dissolves on its own pretty quick, but you know, you want to shake it up and just be quick with it. And I do have the mighty HP60 extractor, so that is what I'll be using. And in there I do have Flux Ice from Bridgeport, which is the second step with this to neutralize the cleaner. So what I'm going to do now is just spray everything down with the BioBreak. And you're going to let that dwell for a little bit. Now, traditionally for this, if it wasn't too bad, I'll probably use the Labo's Ductile and Glico combo. But in this case, it is a older vehicle and has pretty heavy staining. And I'm going to spray just the brush. And I'm just going to let it sit here for probably like 15-20 seconds or so. Doesn't really matter. Just make sure you get BioBreak on the surface, and it's going to start breaking down and eating up that oil, grease, and grime. So let me start now agitating. And you want to apply pressure. You can see it's starting to foam up a little bit. just like a soap would. So I fast forward probably that section as you saw. So pressure is your friend in this case. You're gonna agitate it and ready to start up your extractor. I did forget to bring my extractor, so let me just push that over here. So what I'm gonna do is I have my steamer plugged in, have the pump setting on, and I'm ready to extract. So what I'm gonna do is just extract it all out and see our progress. So what I've started adapting to a little bit is I've been grabbing a little bit of Glico in general just to mist this on to give it a little bit extra neutralizing power. And for some reason it's not spraying because it came out the sprayer. So let me put this right back in here. Apologize for that. And put this right here. And there it is. So I like to mist just a little bit of Glico right on top of it just to neutralize, because the Flex Ice is still going to neutralize, but Glico does have a better cleaning capability than Flex Ice. So like I said, turn on the vacuum. And ready to extract. So all right, so for this portion, I don't want you all to hear the vacuum, so I'm just going to do a quick voiceover. So pretty much it is a little bit hard to maneuver here with the tripod and the hose that's in the way. And the trick to extracting is you want to extract from all different angles, left, right, up, down, diagonal. It doesn't really matter. You just want to agitate and extract the fibers from different angles, so that way you could get the deepest clean possible, and you'll see a huge transformation on here on how well it works. Now, one thing I did mention is I use Labo Cosmetica Glico, which is a acidic cleaner, and the reason why I did that is to help with the cleaning capabilities, because Flex Ice does have a little bit of cleaning capabilities, but it's really meant to neutralize the bio break. But Glico does have more cleaning capabilities, so that's why I sprayed it, and I just get a much better result. That's just my trick that I've been doing. But yeah, so that is pretty much it. So here are pretty much the results after you're done extracting everything, and as you can see, just a night and day difference. Of course, a couple stains that I will touch up later in the video. All right, everyone, so I sped up the process just a bit much, and I did a quick voiceover as quickly as possible. So to sum it all up, you want to go in different directions, and yes, using a extractor for me is the best method, especially for this, on how dirty it was. And just look at how the carpet looks. It looks amazing. I'm going to come back with the extractor vacuum portion because it's kind of hard to put the tripod here and I have the hose here and I have to maneuver around. But this is pretty much how quick and easy the process is with an extractor. Yes, you will be paying, say, $1,700 for the mighty HP60, but look how quick and look at the results. It is heated, so you inject hot water, use any type of cleaner. I like to mix these products per se, so I have BioBreak, agitate it, then I use spray Glico on, and I have my Flex Ice in the extractor, and these are the results that you're going to get instantly. Of course, with that little stain that you see right there on the left side, I will tackle and come back with the steamer to accelerate the drying process. Then I'm gonna take it outside, and hopefully we don't have any wicking happening on the interior in itself. So that is pretty much it. As you can see, night and day difference. Stretch and look how the carpets look. Now for those little tight corners, that is what I'm using the steamer for, and to get into these cracks and crevices and fully clean everything else. But the carpets look amazing. Now here is the door panel, and I put a BioBomb Mini inside the steamer so that way everything could go down. All these mats were steam cleaned. And let me bring you to the trunk side. everything is nice and steam clean. All this was filled with dirt, grime, and debris. So all the door jambs are done as well. So this is the last stretch of the entire process. And why do I say it's the last stretch? Well, we already extracted, removed the grime, we've already deep cleaned everything else. We used the dry eraser to get rid of all that oil and grime off of the seats, and now this is just the sanitizing step. So what I like to do is start with the carpets. So I have my triangle attachment here, and I'll just put my microfiber towel right over it. And hopefully you all can see, but this is just the problem with interior detailing. This is why I don't like to do it or record as much, is because just the tight spaces. So with my steamer here, I am going to steam clean the rest, all of the carpets, and then I will use the small attachment to get into those cracks and crevices. So I'll speed up the process so you can see what I mean. And like I said, this is just the bad part about, whoops. Yeah, so you just saw the camera drop. So what I'm gonna do here is just, like I said, I'm just gonna steam clean the rest of this in here, and I'll show you the after results. I almost broke my microphone, so yeah, I think it's just best to record this off screen, and I'll show you the after results. Yeah. Alrighty everyone, so hopefully you all enjoyed this video, and I'll have the results playing on the overhead as I talk about these products and what I've used so far. So yeah, that's why I don't really do any interior videos, because every time I try to do one, as you saw on the clip I played it earlier, is the camera dropped on me. I'll either bump into the tripod or the extractor hose, the vacuum hose, or even the steamer hose will bump into it, fall down, and I've broken so much of the USB-C part of that. But I do make these videos just to keep a frequent update, so that way I could just send to my customers like, hey, you know, I still do interior details. I know my video shows, you know, 3 months of straight, you know, exterior and polishing and stuff, but I still do interiors. I just want to keep that updated, and that way they know that I still do them. Now, and also the results that they can expect based on the conditions of the video that I send them, because I like to send all varieties of course, the condition of the vehicle. Now, besides that amazing transformation, as you saw, now let's talk about the products that I've used. So I use Jimbos Complete Cabin Cleaner. So overall, it worked really well. I had no issues. The only issue that I really had with this was it had a kickback. So if you spray too much, it aerates, it will hit the back of your lungs. But in terms of helping break down the grime, it did an amazing job. Now, no matter what cleaner you use, you know, this is why I left this much, to give it a fair shot on another vehicle that's not so neglected. That way I'm able to see its real cleaning power, because something like this, I did a section off camera and stuff like that, and it just really didn't make that huge of a difference, especially on the results that we were looking for with this super neglected vehicle that had a bunch of dirt, grit, and grime embedded on the plastics. So this is why I left that, but overall it did a great job. I love the smell of this thing. It kind of reminds me of like a hand soap. Like it just smells like a hand soap, but it foams up real nice and did great. And it did pair up with these melanin sponges or dry erasers. Now remember, this is something that you want to do with precaution, and of course, you know, use it smartly. I was never digging in there. I'm just trying to get that topical stuff off. And I use about like 8 pieces of these, and this is how big the dry sponge is. So it just goes to show that you want to work clean every single time. So I would do a door panel, probably switch over if it was super, super dirty, or you know, I would do a door panel and a seat and then swap. Then I'll do the back part of the seat and another seat, then swap. That way I'm always working fresh and not moving dirt around. Now for cracking, I did use cracking for these super, super neglected areas, especially say the the gas pedal and the brake pedal. And also I did do that for the seals and the seams on the door jambs to get rid of all of that crud that was in there. So I had this diluted on 1-3 and it worked fantastic. Cracking just works so well. And then obviously once I paired it up with the steamer, it was game over for that. TYPHON is, I sprayed it on a separate area because I told you I was gonna stop using this. So same thing, it deodorizes. I love the smell of TYPHON. Now in terms of which of the two I would prefer, I prefer TYPHON, even though these two kind of smell similar, to be quite honest. They both kind of have like a soap type of scent. But yeah, so that is that. Now for the steamer, I did put in a BioBomb Mini, that way to help deodorize and as well help out with the cleaning power as well, because it does have some cleaning capabilities as well with their minis. And last but not least, what you all saw was I sprayed BioBrake on the actual carpets. Agitated is the drill brush is your best friend. Use pressure, and this helps breaks down so much of that dirt, grit, and grime. I had the Flex Ice in the closet, so I'll just leave that there. And then obviously you saw me spray Glico on it to help aid, because Glico does clean a little bit better than Flex Ice, and it isn't acidic, so that way we're able to neutralize the BioBrake. That way it doesn't actually, that way it doesn't actually resurface and cause any wicking. So at the moment, I left the car outside. It's in the sun. It is baking in there, so that way it will be fully dry within the next 30 minutes. And that is about it. So hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want all the products used, it will be down low in the description. The steamer that I've used will be also in the description as well. And the same thing with the HP extractor. And yeah, so I will see you all on the next one. And let me know what you all think about this transformation.